Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Diana and this is Diana Focus on Now, and this is the section about real talk because I come here every week showing you what's going on in my life and how can you implement, the difficulties and the challenges that goes in everyday life, because not everything is perfect and we have ups and downs, and that is why I created this kind of like section in this YouTube channel to talk about how is it to actually go through all the challenges and ups and downs in life in general. So welcome to new ones here. Hit like and subscribe to my channel if you are interested in all these topics and don't want to miss every episode. Okay, and this is the fifth episode, so I'm super excited because today we're going to talk about a very interesting topic that I feel like a lot of you might resonate, but also that I have been struggling with also in the past like 3 days. I like weekish. So lately, so the topic that we're going to talk about today is how to release that old version and actually start being that new version of yourself right now, and you don't have to wait for 2023. Okay, because I feel like 2023 and even goal setting in general, there's kind of like, oh, I'll do that like when next year, or like when my birthday, or whatever other time, and actually the time is now, and that's why I actually call my general is focused on now, because that's actually when the magic starts, in the now. It's not when I do it later or when I do that. So hi everybody. So the episode, like I said, is about releasing the new and attracting the new, releasing the old and attracting the new. And today's episode is very juicy because I have been struggling with releasing all like my beliefs about, like, getting a job, staying with a job, being stable in a job, and all those things. So it's really important that you understand where your beliefs are and where you're getting stuck into. And it's really important to talk to somebody about that and not doing on your own, because I believe that it's really important to hire somebody, at least a coach or something, or therapist, to talk to. They actually will tell you the pinpoints that you're even not even consciously realizing. So it's really important to do that. So how to release that negative, or I'm not going to say negative, because there's some positive parts about your old version of yourself that you want to keep, and that's totally fine. So first of all, before releasing the new and attracting the old, I feel like the basic exercise here is actually writing down your old version. What are you like thinking right now, doing right now, believing right now, taking action right now? Okay, so write it like in at least in a piece of paper. Like I said, always bring a notebook here and a pen, because you're gonna learn so many things. um I actually can pause this video at any time so you can actually do that exercise. So the exercise is writing a list of all the beliefs, all the things that you do right now, in the sense of like this old version of yourself. Like, I go to here, I do this when there's a bad situation, I kind of run away, whatever it might be. Okay, and then when you're done with that exercise, do the other exercise, that is actually writing the beliefs of your new version. Okay, so actually being very specific, like, I want to have this, I want to, my belief with this, I believe that this, actually not saying I will believe in that, but actually bring it down on today. Like, I actually believe this right now. Okay, so it's very important to have those two before actually starting to release the new and to release the old. I don't know why I'm getting confused. Release the old, attracting the new. Okay, so when you're done with that, you can pause the video right now. When you're done with that, come back to this minute. So once you're done with that, the important thing is to actually, I'm gonna say, ignore the old version of you in a way that it's not serving you, first of all, right? So why are you staying with that? Okay. So release all the negative beliefs that, you know, the old version versus the new version. It's like, oh, she believes there's not enough money, but then the new version is like, I do believe there's enough money. So kind of like understand that connection and then work through all of those. Um, I actually can help you with this in our one-on-one coaching. I actually, you have to do the exercise that I told you previously, and then we can actually work on, and I have workbooks for this too, to release all of those beliefs per belief. And it's really important not to work on just 5 million beliefs at the same time, because your brain is not going to work that way, first of all. Second of all, it's really important just to focus on one belief and releasing that, next belief, releasing that, next belief, and releasing that. Okay. So that's first of all. So I have a workbook. If you want it, let me know, because you can get it for free with one of my coaching sessions. So there's the link on down below is Coaching with Diana. So like I said, you need to release per belief that is not longer serving you. Okay. And then creating that and attracting that new version of yourself. And I tell you from the bottom of my heart, honestly, this is the most difficult thing, is actually releasing. It's not even attracting, it's releasing that belief that you're just here and you're going to be here the rest of your life and that's it. Believe me, I had that same feeling. I still kind of feel like that sometimes too. So I totally completely understand you and where you're coming from, because I feel like a lot of things that your parents told you or the society told you, you're like, oh yeah, you can get a job. And now that, for example, for me, that I have a job, and then it's like, I really like this job and everything, but it's just like there. It's not, I can grow to the job and everything, but it's not letting me, I don't have enough time, and I just feel like very overwhelmed. And I'm just like, these are beliefs that I have that I need to let go, because my new version of myself doesn't have those beliefs, first of all. And second of all, um, you can choose your beliefs. It's not like I tell you to choose this and you have to choose this. I mean, at the beginning, your parents did tell you to what to do or to not to do. Um, but then now, as you're an adult or as you're a young adult, like I like to say, um, it's really important to pinpoint those beliefs and releasing them. Okay, so how to release your old version? First, releasing those beliefs that don't longer serve you, release those habits that don't longer serve you, release those negative thoughts. I like to do like a brain dump, but I feel like I talk to this brain dump thing like literally almost every video, because this helps so much for me, at least. Or just even have a coffee with a friend that understands you and that doesn't judge you as much. um so have that conversation with your friend. If you want to do it verbally, if you want to do it writtenly, like I said, brain dump, just explode and say everything that you feel in that piece of paper. Couple pieces of papers, millions of pieces of paper. So I feel like that is a way to just like detox of what, things are going on in your head, in your heart. I feel like my heart was just like very like under pressure, if that makes sense. Like there were somebody's like pushing, like doing like this to you and having like a pressure like that. And I was just like, okay, this is not normal. And, in my last video, I talked about how to actually follow your body and listen to your body for you to be actually like the best version of yourself, because it's really important to listen for your body in general, because I suffer with migraines, and If you want me to do a video of migraines, probably do a video with migraines. Because a lot of people, I feel like I was the only one that had migraines. And then I told like my coworkers, and they're like, oh yeah, I have migraines too. I'm like, what? Really? This is like a common thing. So yeah, let me know in the comments below. Thank you. So continuing releasing those beliefs. Like I said, I have a workbook with that if you want to do that with me too. Um, then releasing the habits in the sense of like not longer gonna stay after 6. That's like our normal schedule at work. Um, because I deserve to not work like 12 hours a day. I deserve that. And I still get paid the same amount. Doesn't mean, I get extra hours. I mean, if you get extra hours, okay, that's another story. But I don't get extra hours. And I know some of you too. So it's really important to just set those boundaries and also set your boundaries for yourself, not even for other people, but setting boundaries for yourself will let the other people, that mean your coworkers, mean your friends, mean your boyfriends, girlfriends, your family, everybody around you is going to understand your limits if you are the one putting those limits at the first place. So if you put your limits at the first place in the sense of like putting your limits on your own, like for example, like I said, I'm not going to work over 6 because I'm still going to pay the same amount, and it's going to be wasting my time. I'm going to have less energy the next day than I normally do when I work extra hours. And it's like, I don't want to have that life that I have to work extra hours just to comfort somebody and then doing the same loop. Okay, so it's really important to understand setting those boundaries right now. And then, like I said, releasing those habits of, used to habit was staying over, because staying over in the sense of like extra hours, because I'm good enough, and that kind of like pat in the back, like, Diana, you did good job, you stayed late. But nobody actually said that. Not even my boss, not even my coworkers. Even my coworkers, like, why are you staying late, Diana? I'm like, oh, I need to finish this, blah 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 blah. But then I'm like, it's my value time. I'm giving about value, and giving value to yourself and to your new self, your new future self. So releasing those old habits, old beliefs, old programming is also super key to actually have space for the new ones to come in. Because if you're cranked up with all the things, all the negative things that you have, it's like, oh, this is happening and this is happening, and there's a lot of negativity about that. You're not going to attract positivity in your life. If you're thinking negativity, most of the time, you're not going to attract any positivity. I assure you with this. And then the same thing, if you're thinking positive thoughts, most of the time, you're probably not going to get a lot of negativity. Just like asterisco, you're going to probably get negativity even though you're super positive, because there's always ups and downs in life, okay? So just to clarify. Um, so releasing those old new, it's kind of like moving out. When you move out, it's kind of like a big step in your life in general. Okay, that's moving out apartments, moving out, in the sorry, in the another country or whatever it might be. And it's very important for you to actually understand that you're releasing, you're seeing all your stuff like, oh my god, I have so many boxes, many things that I even haven't touched in like 3 years, 4 years, whatever it might be. And then those things are kind of like beliefs, kind of like automatic systems that you have in general. And then as a coach, I tell you that we can identify those things that you can release, so you can start that new version of yourself. And it doesn't mean that you have to first release and then start the new version. You can start right now your new version, okay? It doesn't mean that you have to release and then do the new version, you can do your new version. Just like my asterisco here is, if you're wanting to start now your new version of yourself, it's gonna be harder because you already have that old programming that's gonna set you back again to square one. So if you're releasing, you're slowly going forward, and still, you still can be your best version of yourself, your new version of yourself, whatever you want to call it, every day, but it's like you're cleaning that room that needs to get cleaned. You know what I mean? And then you bring new clothes, because if you bring new clothes, and your closet is so full, and you're still bringing new clothes, it's not gonna help, because you have new clothes and then old clothes, and then it's like, and then your brain is like, okay, so what do I do? And if you release most of them, or just a few of them, and then getting used to that new version of yourself, that's also very important, because like I said, releasing is really a key part, so you have more space to bring the new. But also the important thing here is that when you bring the new, you actually like tell yourself, and then also like be aware when you're in this transition of the old and the new. You have this also like a transition, and that's totally fine, it's a normal part of life. That transition is actually the most difficult one, because that transition, you're gonna have some old beliefs coming up once in a while, or like literally every day, and then you have to release the old negative things. Okay, so you don't have to do it like, there was one coach that told me, you don't have to do it all at once. You don't have to write all your beliefs and then do them all at once. I mean, I kind of did it a couple of times like that, but not like all of them, but at least the main ones. I feel like I was trying to go one per one, and then doing like really on my pace and not pushing yourself. So that's another key thing, not pushing yourself, like, oh, I have to be my version of myself before January. It's like, no, it takes time. It takes time. I'm telling you that it takes like 3 months. It takes a couple of months. I'm not gonna lie to you, because it does have that transition period from your old to the new. Like in any hero story, you have the old version and then the new version, okay? And that there's this transition, there's like peak into, ups and downs, whatever might happen. But then you have that old new version at the end, okay? So also be very patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself when you're going through that transition of the old versus the new, because you can be your new version right now, but then there's, like I said, there's going to come up all the old stuff coming up, that you have to kind of like, oh, there's a new book that is full of dust that I haven't read in like 3 years. Like, are you going to keep it there, or are you actually going to clean it and like donate it if you don't need it, or like put it there? You know what I mean? So kind of like analyze the things. I'm giving you like closet examples. I don't know why, but just to for you to understand, that's kind of how mind works. And my first suggestion is to brain dump whatever you're feeling right now, do the comparison part, and then actually go on and be that version. What habits do that new version do you have? What things do she or he have? you know not very materialistic in this sense, but in the sense of like, what things do they think? Like I said before, like that new version of me is like, I'm not gonna work extra hours, just to telling myself I did a good job because I worked extra hours. I did a good job working the hours that I had to work. I don't need to prove on anybody that I am working extra hours to, because I need to prove myself something, okay? So that's kind of like those things that you need to understand that you do daily, that, like I said, this is like a work thing, but like, for example, your new version doesn't look at your phone um at night because she detox her phone and then put it to the way and then actually goes to sleep. Maybe put meditation on your phone or whatever it may be, but just actually not going scrolling on your phone before at night, or doing some meditation, like I said, or whatever it might be. But like start with one habit and then add another one. But don't start with like 50 habits because you're never gonna add them at the end. Trust me, I did that, did not work. Okay. Um so start with the new habit. It can be in the morning, it can be in the afternoon, it could be at night, it can be whatever. I also have informations that help me, my mind, bring me back. If I'm in my old habit, just because I'm working, it's stressful, whatever, the day goes on. And then I have those affirmations, have those reminders in my phone to bring me back to that new version. It's like, oh yeah, I am the new version. I don't have to wait, for 50 years to pass to be the new version. So it's kind of like those things that is very helpful for you to release that old version and actually attract the new version. Like I said, creating those new habits slowly, like have like one habit per like 2 or 3 weeks actually. I think it's 21 days they create an official habit, okay? Um, so it's very important to have one habit and then have another habit and then have another habit when you're like already kind of like stacking up books, right? Read your first book and then buy another one. That's kind of what I do, or else I'll be having 50 books already here. um so that's another thing that I'm going to tell you. Be patient with yourself. It's a transition. Let me know in your comments, on the comments below, if you think like what's your next goal that you want to achieve, and then I can actually help you with that on the comments. I can give you some tips there too. So let me know your new future self. What does she do? What is kind of like the mood? I like to do mood boards every like when I get bored and like doesn't inspire me anymore. I like to change things up. um that's kind of like my kind of like what I say, like a guidance for like like that. Like if I have my mood board, like I create a mood board today, okay? And then like 2 days, or maybe like 3 weeks, or maybe 2 months, or maybe a year. Probably not. I normally change them like every 2 months or so. Um, so if you see your mood board, and I normally have my mood board on my computer right now, and then on my phone. Why on my phone? Because I actually see my phone more often than I don't use the computer more often, okay? I use my work computer, that's another thing. Um, but I normally have it here. And then I also have it, if you have WhatsApp, I also have it in my background picture in WhatsApp, okay? So I see it all the time. So if you don't have that to see it all the time, maybe put post-it notes on your desk, if you don't want to have your phone like looking at your phone all the time at work or whatever you do. Having like posting notes or something just to remind yourself. Like I said, I have alarms to like remind myself to actually not go back, but go forward to that new version of myself. Okay. So that is the lesson of today. Real talk with Diana. And I hope you like this video. I hope you give it a go. All of my tips and suggestions for this week. I know, like I said, that I was not gonna do a YouTube video, but I had this inspiration of just helping you go through this transition because I actually had this transition. I was crying a lot. I was like, what am I gonna do with my life, and everything like that. So I wanted to give you like there's light at the end of the tunnel, and it's okay that you have downs because there's always an up. And sounds really cheesy, but it's so true. And I always remember myself for that because I always think like, oh, when you're like super sad and you're just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, and I really think of to myself like, there's always downs, but there's always ups, okay? In the sense of like, you have to go to a down to go to an up. So that's kind of like my mini motivation that I personally use. You might not use this. I don't know. But that's kind of like my main motivation because I didn't feel like really well. That's why I didn't want to do a YouTube video. But I'm here. I'm giving you my sass, and I hope to see you on the next episode. Have a beautiful rest of the week. I'm gonna upload this, and I hope to see you on my next episode every week on Mondays or Tuesdays of every month, every week. Sorry, every week. Let me know in the comments below too if you liked it. Give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel if you want to see more episodes like this or want to know more about Focus on Now. Diana Focus on Now. Hugs. Bye bye.